Women's wrestling gets bigger and bigger every year, and OCU has played a big part. Press Play's Katie Connor joins us now.
Thanks, Kaylee. Not many people would have suspected the sleepy state of Oklahoma to be a forerunner in providing equal opportunity by being one of the first to offer women's wrestling. But to Oklahoma City University, this was an obvious choice in the next step for their athletic department.
Oklahoma City University became part of only 6 universities to have a women's wrestling team in the 2007-2008 school year. This limited opportunity would allow women the chance to compete at the national level.
Hired a coach, his name was Archie Randall, and maybe 6 months into our first ever men's wrestling program, Archie came to me one day and he said, we need to add women's wrestling. And I'm going to admit that I didn't realize that there was women's wrestling. And what I told Coach Randall at the time was, hey, look, we got a brand new program that's, we haven't even done much at this point, so let's focus on that for now. But if you know Archie was a very persistent guy. And we would meet every 2 weeks, which is what I do with all of our coaches, and he kept bringing it up. So finally I said to him, look, bring me a 1-page sheet of paper that tells me why women's wrestling makes sense. And he did.
I don't think it was a risk. I don't think it was a chance. I think it was maybe for people outside of the wrestling community that it may seem like it, but for those that were in it, it was just got accepted into the Olympics. It was starting to grow on the college side, and I think that it was a vision and not a risk. We're being proactive, we know where this is going, and we're investing in it right now.
With OCU being one of the leading teams, it granted some security in the program for current recruits and gave time for OCU to make a name for itself.
I think it made me a lot more comfortable to commit here because I knew the program wasn't going to drop the second I committed, which I know has happened to a lot of my other girl wrestler friends. And I knew that we had support by the school, that it wasn't going to be weird on campus, oh, who are these girls wrestlers, and is that even a sport? I knew it wasn't going to be like that. People are going to be accepting of it because a lot of places aren't. It's still very new and people always are questioning it.
So being at such a prestigious program, such an established program, you walk into a tournament, everyone's like, oh, that's OCU. They've had this, 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 and this. And it's kind of yeah, you know what? I'm on this team. I represent this team now. So it feels good to be at such a high caliber program and to live up to that expectation.
Even though OCU started a new program, that did not mean the athletic department would allow a pass for these new college wrestlers. These women would still be held to the high competitive nature that is OCU.
I think that with Coach Randall, that we were the first serious program. No, we're going to be multi-time national champions. As a team, we're going to breed national champions. And I could just tell that that's the mentality that the coaches had, and that is what all the athletes wanted. We
didn't start it, nor was my expectation that we would win national championships. But if we're gonna participate in a sport, there is an expectation that we will be competitive. So I would say that to this point, women's wrestling has far exceeded what I thought was possible.
And I think we're known for just being a well-rounded program. We're known for being tough and for fighting tooth and nail for stuff. We don't let up on each other, and we don't let up on our opponents. And I think that it reflects us really well, honestly.
I believe in this program, and I have no doubt that we are the best overall program. As far as academics go, as far as coaching staff goes, as far as teammates go, as far as wrestling goes, we are the whole package.
Coming to the end of their 14th season, OCU Women's Wrestling is now one of 48 programs nationwide, proving that women's wrestling has a bright future for girls around the world. Reporting for Press Play, I'm Katie Connor.